Hello and welcome everyone. There are 11 commendations that you're able to earn during the Iron Horse raid on the Division 2, and in this video I'll be going over all 11 commendations and explaining how to get them. I'm currently redoing a lot of raid guides because my current raid guides are out of date and uploading them on the channel, so this is why this is getting uploaded today. But if there's any more of my guides that you want to watch about the raids on the Division 2, they'll all be linked down below in the video description. For each Iron Horse commendation that you complete, you are going to be rewarded with a patch as seen on screen here. And 4 of the Iron Horse commendations are going to come naturally with your first clear of the raid. That includes this Gatekeeper Award commendation for defeating Lieutenant Grey in Operation Iron Horse. He is your first boss encounter. The Baptism of Fire Award is given to you for defeating Captain Pfizer, who is the second boss encounter. The Under Pressure Award is given to you for defeating Major Williams, who is the third boss encounter of the Iron Horse raid. And then the Terminus Award is given to you for defeating Colonel Morozova, who is the final boss of this raid. And just like with Dark Hours, if you've seen my commendation video for that one, we do have a collectible commendation. It's called Gourmand Merit, and you get this by finding and destroying all 45 gingerbread men during a single run through Operation Iron Horse, and this can be done on any difficulty. By any difficulty, this does mean that you can do this on an Iron Horse Discovery raid as well as a normal raid, but it does have to be an active raid. You'll know that if you go to a raid location, you got to start a raid before any mechanics even show up. So you can't just run through the raid without any of the mechanics and shoot these. It doesn't work like that. The raid does have to be active. And if you miss one and you can't go back to get it, then you've got to restart the whole raid again, which means you gotta leave the raid, set it back up, and come back in so it resets. So these gingerbread men that I'm shooting now on screen will reappear. They've got to be all got in one run, and this will count for the whole team. I'm not going to show you where all 45 gingerbreads are in this video because I've done a separate video guide that will show you this, and I will link that down below in the video description if you want to watch this guide and go and shoot all these gingerbreads. One of the toughest commendations to get for Iron Horse is the Flawless Distinction. This is awarded to you for completing Operation Iron Horse without any agent being killed, and this does have to be on normal difficulty. You can't do this on Discovery. So what this means is that none of your squad members can get killed during a run from start to finish, and it's okay to go down. So if a member goes down to their knees and you're able to get them back up, this is okay. What this means is if someone goes unconscious when the name pops up on screen and it says that they've been killed, when someone goes into this state, it will void the flawless run and you'll not be able to get it. You'll have to come out of the raid, set it back up, and go again to reset the instance to have another go at it. So I'd advise doing this once you quite experience at the raid as a team, because you're going to need that experience in order to get this done without anybody getting killed. We also help with this in our community as well. I also want to debuff a common myth with this just before we move on. A lot of people do say if somebody gets like a disconnect while they're doing the raid, that it voids a commendation and nobody can get it. This is incorrect. I've tested this hundreds of times. My understanding of it is if someone does disconnect, as long as their name does not disappear from the bottom right hand side of the screen where the name list is of the squad, and they get back in before the name disappears, then everybody is fine. Everybody can go ahead and get this commendation still, providing everybody stays flawless. However, if someone gets disconnected, and they do properly get disconnected where the name disappears, it's only going to count for the people remaining in the raid. So the 7 people remaining, or 6 people, and so on, depending on however many disconnect. If someone then jumps back in after their name's been removed, they're not going to be able to get this commendation themselves. They have to start again. So I just thought I'd touch on that because it's a common misconception that I hear throughout. Just 5 commendations left now on the Iron Horse raid, and the next 4 are all related to how you defeat each boss. So we will go over these in a little bit more detail to ensure you got the right information. And we'll start with the Nutcracker Merit. For this one, you must defeat the first boss on the Iron Horse raid, Lieutenant Grey, after he has gained a full ironclad bar at least once during the encounter. This commendation is bugged and it no longer works as intended. In fact, many people, including myself up until recently, thought this was unobtainable. However, there is a workaround, and when I've started working on these new guides and refresh guides, we found and tested this workaround. It will work every time. So I'm going to explain it in full for you now so you and your squad can get this done also. So we've just started the encounter off, and you'll notice Grey and the free shield guys have spawned. Now what happens is with Grey, if you just leave them and you don't kill them, Grey will do it anyway, but he fires this ironclad on the ground, and you'll notice his bonus armor is going up there. And now originally, and I've done this way many times, how it used to work, as it kind of reads as well when you read the commendation, what you had to do was let Grey fill out that bonus armor on his health bar there, so it was at maximum, and then kill him. And it was as easy as that. So you just wait until that happened. However, that's no longer working. So what you have to do instead is let him fill himself up, and all of the shield guys as well, the free shield guys that are with him, they all got to get filled up as well. When he does that, there's an animation that he does, like an EMP, that will wipe out the free shields, just leaving the NPC standing there without a shield. Once he does this and you kill them, you'll get the commendation. So it just takes a lot longer now by doing that, because it'll take a while for him to fill out all of the ironclad armor on himself and all the free shield guys. But as long as you manage the ads and just wait, it will happen. Now, there is one thing to take note of that I want to point out right now as well, is that there's a red bar. So a red enemy is one of the shields. You can't complete this commendation if one of the shield guys is red. They've got to be all purple or yellow because they have to have bonus armor. And the reason for that is because Grey has got to give bonus armor to himself and these shield guys. But if they're a red bar, you'll notice that they can't get the bonus armor. In fact, they have no armor. So because they've got no armor, they can't get bonus armor, which means this isn't going to work. You've got to make sure all of the shield guys are purple. And to do that, if you get a red one, just kill them. So we're going to carefully kill this red bar enemy now to make sure that he disappears, and we're not going to cause any damage to the boss or no damage to any of the other shield guys. And once he dies, what will happen is, if you wait a little while, is a new shield guy will spawn, and this shield guy should be purple, and they'll have bonus armor, and Grey will be able to fill out their bonus armor as well. So we're just waiting for that guy to spawn. Now you'll see he's nearly completed. These two shield guys that are with him, he is at full bonus armor right now, which is great. The other two guys are close, and in just a few seconds time, a third shield guy will spawn in. Here he is. He replaces the red guy that we just killed, and now we're in a position where we can get the commendation. We just have to wait for him to fill out the armor on all three of them. I'm just going to skip ahead on the video now because this took some time, but notice the final shield guy that came out, he's nearly full. That's just filled him up. And if we go close, there's a little interaction here you can do by going close to him, makes him do that EMP, and notice how all three shield guys have just lost their shields. At that point, you are now okay to kill them. We chose to kill the shield guys first, so we'd make sure all three of those shields were dead. Only after the shields got destroyed, and then we killed Grey. This will take a little bit longer than usual because you've got to get through all of his ironclad armor first. But once you've killed him, and as long as you've done it exactly as I've just said in this video, now in this clip, you will get the Nutcracker commendation. This is the workaround for it, and we tested it with people that never had it and they got it. So that's how we did it. The Hot Foot Merit is next, and this is awarded for defeating Captain Pfizer, while all molds in the central forge are full of molten iron. There is a bit of a backstory to this one. I just want to stake claim for me and my team that figured this out when Iron Horse first came out. There's a visual glitch that makes this commendation hard to do without knowing what to do, and we spent like 12 plus hours just on the Pfizer boss fight trying to figure this out. It was the last thing to find out at the time, and we noticed the visual glitch, and as soon as we did that, we cracked the code and we got the video out. It was awesome. So yeah, this is how you do it. I'm going to explain exactly how you do the Hot Foot Merit now, and I'll explain this visual glitch to you. So this is the Pfizer boss fight, and what it wants you to do, it's going to take quite a while to get this one done because you've got to wait in between codes before you can continue. So I'm just letting Jen in now into the furnace room to read out the code to me to start off this encounter, and I'm assuming you know how this raid works and you're quite familiar with it. We're not explaining exactly how this encounter works, but Jen's reading the code out to me, and me in the control room, I'm going to tell people what icon is on there for them to shoot a junction box. They shoot that junction box, and as long as that is successful, this will always start in the same order. You want to have a look down in the furnace room and have a look at the bottom left where I'm aiming now. You'll notice this lava comes out. Now that lava is filling up this bottom left segment in these lava pits, and this is the visual glitch. You don't notice that it's filling it up, and what you're meant to do is wait for all these lava pits to be filled up, and once they're filled up, you'll do the next code, and this lava will move around the room so you fill up all 4 quarters. And that's what the hot foot merit is. You need to fill up all 4 quarters of the room with the lava pits, and then you've got to complete the encounter to get the commendation. So back when we were figuring this out and we noticed this visual glitch, what we did was we noticed the visual when it worked, and we seen the lava pits filling up, and we timed it. It took about 2.5 minutes. I forget the exact time. So how we used to do it is as soon as we saw the lava touch the pit at the bottom there, we'd start a stopwatch, and at 2.5 minutes, that's when we knew we could move on and do the next code. However, more recently, I think it was P-Dog, somebody gave me a better tip about this, and there's another visual aid to help you so you know when you can move on. If we keep looking at this lava, you'll notice where the lava's coming out. It'll start to go on fire once the lava pit is full. So although we can't see the lava pit filling up, we can keep an eye on this lava and look at where it's coming out. And the moment that goes on fire, you know the lava pit is filled up, and you can move on to the next code. So we're just watching this now. It should happen any second. I think I've been rambling on long enough now. Should have been about 2.5 minutes. There you go. So you see that go on fire there, and as soon as you see that, you're good to go on the next code. So I'm now going to let Jen know that she can come in and read out the next code to me. So we're going to do that, and I'll show you where the next pit is. They're just doing a rocket phase first, and with that rocket phase done, we can now do the next code. There is no rush at all. As long as that pit is filled and it's on fire, you know you're good to carry on. So we're just doing that second code process, and we're making sure we shoot the right junction box, and it's always got to go in the same order. From the bottom left, it's then going to go to the bottom right, and it's going to start filling up this corner. If we keep an eye on it, you'll notice that the lava just starts pouring out. And here it comes. And it's from the moment the lava touches the pit there that the timer starts. But again, we can wait for this to go on fire at the mouth where it comes out, and we can move on. So we'll skip ahead to that. And just like that, it's on fire. So with that one being on fire now, we know the bottom right segment of the furnace is filled up. So we'll go on and do the next code. And with the next code successfully done, we're looking at the top right corner of the furnace now. Over here, you'll notice the lava will come out and start filling up that segment on the room. So it's exactly the same again. Everybody just carries on killing ads, and you just wait until that goes on fire and the lava pit is filled up. As soon as you see the fire, you know it's filled up again, so you're okay to move on and do the next code. And with another successful code, the top left quarter here of the furnace room is going to start filling out. And look at that, by surprise, this visual is showing. So it's good to show you now what it's meant to look like. You can see each of those lava pits are filling out this time. This is meant to happen in all 4 quarters of the room, but it's only worked on 1 of 4 in this instance. And this is why it was so hard to figure it out back when this raid came out, because no one really knew what was going on. You can notice that not 1 quarter here is filled up at all, and more often than not, it doesn't fill up. It's quite rare that you actually see the visual, in all honesty. So just doing a rocket phase now, but we will watch this fill out so you can see how it's meant to look if it does work. Just each pocket there in the quarter just gets filled up by the lava. This is just making the room hotter and hotter as it goes as well, which is why it's called the hot foot merit, I guess. And with the whole room filled like this, the room's at its hottest. So when you go in there later on to perform the mechanic with the gun and the water, you're just at your most vulnerable. And that's the challenge of this commendation, really. But with it working, you could just simply watch it and watch every pit fill. I think we've got about 3 or 4 more pits to fill up there, and you'll see what I mean, that once it is full, it goes on fire the moment that it is full. So we just got the last few to go now, and then just as the last corner here gets filled up, as soon as that fills out, you'll notice that it goes on fire. And that's something we found out recently, which helps without the visual aid. But now that all 4 are done, you are okay to finish this encounter as normal. You do need to complete it. If you wipe at this point, you'll need to do it all again. The encounter does need to be completed once all 4 corners of the furnace are full. The Hex Machina Merit is our next commendation, and the requirement for this is to destroy Major Williams' mounted guns before fixing all steam pipes, then defeat him. Thankfully, this commendation is nowhere near as bad as the others. There's no glitches or visual bugs or anything like that. Very straightforward, very easy to do, and it doesn't slow you down much at all either. For this commendation, what you want to do is get up to the Williams boss fight. I'm going to assume that you know the mechanics, and you want to keep on going on this boss fight until you have to do the pipes. So we're currently up to that stage now. I've gone up top and I'm reading these pipes out, and someone down below is shooting the valves to either give it more pressure or less pressure, and we're going to correct all the pipes so we can finish this encounter. We've just done screen 1, we're on screen 2. And while we're doing this, the rest of the team are destroying the boss on his guns. He's on a walkway. He's got 3 guns that he's going to go through, and we've got to take him off all 3 guns. Now, for the commendation, what you need to do is destroy the 3 guns before you finish the pipes. It's that simple. So on the last page now, I've got M, O, and P that both need more pressure to correct themselves. So we're doing that, but we're going to leave P. I'm not going to touch P. So we're going to get O done, and then P we're going to leave, and we're going to make sure the boss is off all 3 guns. I believe he's going to his 3rd gun now, or his 2nd one. It'd probably be his 3rd. But we'll wait until he's off all 3 guns before we correct P. So I think that we've just done that. If not, I'll probably run around and shoot another gun, which I think we're doing. So we're just bringing him off all 3 guns now. He's coming out onto his last gun. There you go. So he's on blue. You just got to make sure he's off all 3. If he's not off all 3, the commendation isn't going to work. So we're just going to take him off his 3rd gun now. You'll notice that, again, I keep looking at the screen to show you that the pipes aren't finished yet. But once he's finished his 3rd gun, this is where you can now do damage to Williams to finish the fight, but you've got to finish that off first. So with that done and the pipes done, you'll get the commendation once you finish the encounter. You do need to finish the encounter, though. If you don't finish the encounter, you'll have to do all this again. But very simply, take the boss off of all 3 guns before you finish the pipes, finish the encounter, and you're done. And the last encounter-specific commendation is the Unfriendly Fire Merit. The requirement for this is to eliminate a heavy immobilizer with the autocannon, and this has to be done on the Morozova final boss fight. This commendation is very easy to do, but it can be quite tedious. But you can do it right at the start of the encounter. This is when it's best to be done, to be honest with you. Just open up the door and clear everything outside, but leave the immobilizer, the tank, the chunga, whatever you want to call it, leave him alive. You want that enemy. And right at the start of the encounter, if you do this, it's just the best time to do it. So then you can go on and complete the Iron Horse raid without having to worry about it. You'll get this commendation as soon as you perform this action as well. So it's not like you have to complete the encounter to get the commendation or anything. Now, some top tips for this. What we're trying to do here is the minigun, the autocannon I'm next to. We need that to kill this chunga. And it's best not to take out his backpack. If you take out his backpack, that's what allows him to have foam, and he'll foam you with it. And as annoying as that is, if you take out the backpack, he'll use his gun all the time, and he'll go and head into cover, and he'll take cover and things, and that makes him harder to kill with the autocannon. So the best way to do this is, like I said, start this encounter off, clear all the ads, leave this guy alive, and let him keep his backpack. Because if you don't, he will start doing what he's doing now. He's going to head away from us. He's going to start taking cover in places. And this autocannon here isn't going to be able to do any damage to him. And it can get very annoying. So we're going to refresh this now, and we're going to go again, but we're going to let him keep his backpack. Now, with his backpack, he'll stay closer to us. He will still use his gun at times, but he'll still use his foam. And he'll be aggressive because he wants to use his foam. Your job is to get his health as low as possible. You'll see that it's quite low on screen now. We've cracked him, and his health bar is very, very low. This is the position you want to get him in. And you can use decoys, you can use foam yourself to stick him in place. When that autocannon goes off, you want him to be in a position where he's going to get hit by the autocannon, and this can just be a bit tedious. Even though he's staying close with us this time with his backpack in hand, he'll just keep moving about and he'll just dodge it. So this is where like a foam gun or a decoy is worth it. Just make sure you use nothing that causes him damage though, like a vial mask or anything like that with damage over time, because he's at such little health that might kill him. You don't want that to happen. We want the autocannon to kill him, and once the autocannon kills him, you'll get the commendation. So that autocannon's about to go off any second now. You can see how low his health is, and just watch that kill him. That's what you're trying to get happen, and once you've done that, the commendation is complete. And then with all that, that will bring us to our final Iron Horse commendation, which is called Agent on Duty Distinction. You must complete all Operation Iron Horse commendations for this. You'll see that I'm on 10 out of 10, and it's everything that we've just gone over. So once you've completed all 10 of those commendations, you'll get this as the 11th one, as like the final completion commendation. And that's it for this video. I do hope that it's been helpful. Please be sure to hit like on the video, comment down below to help the algorithm, subscribe to my channel for more content. Don't forget to check out my communities as well if you want help with any of these raids. If you want to join my team and help others with these raids, it's all linked down below. Come and check us out. But again, thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and peace out.